Welcome back, everyone. It's been a while since I did my last video, and you guys have been like messaging me wanting more videos, and you wanted me to kind of talk more about Chia. Well, there's plenty to talk about, but I can only focus on one topic at a time. Otherwise, it gets too confusing and the FUD meter just goes off the chart. I want to FUD it out a little bit at a time. So meaning I would FUD it one video at a time. But to be really honest with you guys, I'm not here to FUD. I'm just here to provide some information and let you guys, the watchers, the viewers, the subscribers, the people who were farmers or the people who are still farmers, decide for themselves what Chia really is. Now, some of you guys may take Chia and say, well, Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that. Let me tell you something. Bitcoin did not have an ass of a CEO telling you things or mocking you, criticizing you for your opinions on the project. All right? We'll just leave it at that. But today I want to show you a really, really interesting video that came across on Discord, and it wasn't from the official Chia Discord. Let me rephrase all that, right? So the official Chia Discord had chose to ban me, all right? Indefinitely, pretty much. I don't know how many years or whatever it was. The calculation was pretty high. And they have done similar to other individuals who chose to voice concerns or have questions that may not align with the CEO's thinking or theories or whatever it is that you want to call it. His, unless you follow what he thinks or says, if not, then you're just probably gonna be on that blacklist, and then you're gonna join an alt Chia channel, and I'll show you guys which ones I'm actually a part of because it's really interesting. It's great information, and one of them is so popular that a lot of the ex-Chia, current Chia farmers are still there discussing it every single day. That would be on the Mad Max's Chia channel Discord, and I'll show you guys in a little bit what I'm talking about. But before we get into all that, of course, the Chia price is amazing. It's amazing. 80. Oh, I remember those days. It was 80, but not anymore, guys. Let's talk about reality now. Let's talk about how it's not Bitcoin. All right, let's make sure we understand that. Let's talk about how long this project has been in place. All right, let's talk about how much pre-farm has been sold and keep on claiming it's not a security. Fine, you believe whatever it is that you want to believe because you found loopholes or you're going through these legal avenues to say that we didn't sell it, we loaned it. But then you come out and said that you sold it, but we didn't sell it in the United States, we sold it overseas somewhere, so it doesn't count. Great information. All you need is information. And I'm going to tell you now, right now, you're here. I'm going to tell you what I see, what I think, and what we've gathered all together today to view this video is to see this price of $18.70. Most of you that I know, and I say most, a lot of you have shut down your farms because of heat, because of expenses, because it's not profitable. Makes total sense. It's junk. Now, for the other individuals that say, oh, it's a great time to buy, great time to, collect more XCH because the price is right. While Chia Network, the company, is offloading them by the thousands and hundreds of thousands, you're choosing to buy. If it's so worth so much, why are they even selling it? Or maybe that's the reason why. Because it's still some worth to it, so they need to sell it to make some money. But anyway, let's get on to the topic of today, which is a great one. A great video that I came across, right? And this was posted here on the Chia Plots Discord. And this is actually Gene's response to the video. Now, what video am I talking about? Well, you're going to learn all about it right now.
This carbon market play where the World Bank, along with Google and some other actors, are developing climate wallets. They're designing it. It's designed to run on, I believe, the Chia network, which is the guy that invented BitTorrent, his new project. And they claim to be sort of like a net zero blockchain, I guess.
Net zero blockchain.
But what exactly is net zero? Think about running a bath. Turn on the taps and water is added. Pull out the plug and water flows out. To keep the water at the same level, you need to ensure what you put in and what you take out is balanced. Reaching net zero works in a similar way. We need to balance the amount of greenhouse gases we put into the atmosphere with the amount we take out.
And basically the idea of it is for people to participate in the carbon market to come. And the idea of people being able to sort of like monetize nature. And there's a whole lot of stuff going on with carbon credits and carbon markets right now. And it's a very murky legal area. And I'm very concerned about it because there's this whole mentioned but relatively unexplored issue of so-called carbon rights, where the person that buys the carbon credit can get rights to the carbon in the forest the credit represents. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So like, I buy a carbon credit in this forest, this Colombian rainforest, and now I am potentially the owner of the carbon in those trees, so I can decide what happens to that carbon.
So let me explain just a little bit, and I will kind of put it in comparison to real estate. So in real estate, you can buy a plot of land, or you can buy something that has a house on it, and based on the size and plot of your land, let's just say if it was like 100 square feet times 100 square feet, you have an approximately air rights to how much and how high you can actually build this building, right? But even though there may not be a building there, that's the potential height that you can go based on the square footage of your building. So you're practically buying, when you purchase this land, you're buying into how much air rights you have to build out how high this building can go. So something that doesn't even exist. But what she's saying here, which is pretty interesting, and she summed it up so perfectly, that she is participating in this gray area of carbon credits that are selling things that doesn't exist. So let me kind of backtrack that a little bit more and just say, what are you selling? Or what are you trying to credit selling by crediting people? Like you're buying, when you go to like an arcade and you put in $1 into the machine, which doesn't happen anymore because everything's all electronic, you put $1 into the machine and you get back 4 quarters. All right. You use that 4 quarters and you go to a game and you start using it and you play it. You own it for that amount of time that you actually put the quarter in. So in regards to this, it's like you're buying air. You're buying oxygen. You're breathing oxygen, you're buying it. You own that till someone else buys it, I guess. It's nothing material. There's nothing there. There's no substance. You're just buying things that doesn't belong to you, but it belongs to someone else. But supposedly, the government is going to sell rights to carbon. Like, maybe I'm confusing you, but in short, let's keep going with the video, because what I want you to follow through on this video, and I'll link it in the description. I thought it was a great introduction to how scammy Chia is participating in all of this.
And the people that actually like own the land, or like Colombians, you know, they don't necessarily own it anymore, potentially. This is like this murky gray area. So it's opening the way up, I think, to some land grabs. And
land grabs. So you're basically selling things that don't belong to you.
2/3 of agricultural land deals by foreign investors are in countries with serious problems with hunger. 68% of those investors intend to export everything they grow on the land, which means that even though we're growing more food, big land deals will make hunger worse. So what can you do to help? Right now, the World Bank provides the finance for many big land deals. It also has the power to influence how land is bought and sold, as well as setting an example for investors. With your help, it can be a force for good. Join us and tell the World Bank to put big land deals on hold.
but because of how the government wants to manipulate things, all of a sudden the actual owners of the property, of the land, no longer owns it because they decided to put this on the market for like this crypto company Chia to sell these carbon credits. And now if I was to purchase these carbon credits, I own that area of land. How do you even define all that, right? So let's keep on going.
In the global south. So a lot of very disturbing things happening in carbon market land. And even under the idea of, reducing CO2 levels and all of that, the carbon market as it's been functioning, just hasn't done that. It's been criticized by people on the left and the right. And then there's been time and time again, it's been revealed by even mainstream media that up to 90% of all carbon credits on the market right now are completely worthless and meaningless.
Started off with honest intentions, but loopholes have turned it into a bookkeeping trick. Credits can be a greenwashing tactic that allow companies to mislead customers without making any improvements to their business model. Researching carbon credits and offsets for this video was a shocking and eye-opening experience. There seems to be no limits to the corruption and fraudulent schemes in the carbon credit market.
Worthless and meaningless. That's a high percentage. So why is Chia involved in this? And why were they even so happy that they were doing all this? Where does this come from? But we're going to go back to Gene's debate about this. And, there's always two sides to the story. Now, just because you're a legitimate company and you fall trap into some scammy tactic that you participated in, not willingly and not knowing, is it really your fault? Did I assist someone if I was a cab driver and a bank robber just ran out and they were in a haste and say, hey, I need to get over here. And I just kind of casually just drive them like I was doing my day job. And I didn't know he was a bank robber. Am I still at fault? Is that what the position is right now with Chia? Or did they really know this is what was going on? All right, so let's keep on going.
So it's basically like the junk bond scandal of the 1980s.
Our word of the day is a junk bond. A junk bond is exactly the same as a regular bond. Junk bonds are an IOU from a corporation or organisation or country that states the amount it will pay you back, called the principal, the date it will pay you back, known as the maturity date, and the interest it will pay you on the borrowed money. Junk bonds differ because of their issuer's credit quality. All bonds are characterised according to this credit quality and therefore fall into one of two bond categories, investment grade or junk. These are the bonds that pay high yield to bondholders because the borrowers don't have any other option. Their credit ratings are less than pristine, making it difficult for them to acquire capital at an inexpensive cost. Junk bonds are typically rated BB or lower by Standard & Poor's and BA or lower by Moody's. Junk bonds are risky investments but have speculative appeal because they offer much higher yields than safer bonds.
Again,
Ouch.
And what's interesting is that the person that invented carbon markets and carbon credit trading is a guy named Richard Sander, who worked at Drexel Burnham Lambert, the junk bond scandal bank of the 1980s. He was a senior vice president.
Wow. That's amazing. So you backtrack all this to someone who was legitimately fraudulent to create all this theory with carbon credits.
Until he was brought in by the George Bush Sr. administration to apply free markets to environmental issues for Bush Sr.'s EPA, and then was contacted by this Rockefeller oligarch guy who was at the UN named Maurice Strong to develop the same solution for carbon. And he's also the father of derivatives of financial futures, which of course helped explode in 2008. So the guy that invented all of that is the guy that invented carbon credit trading, and he also wants to make a market just like that for free water and free air, so you can, get basically taxed on that too.
Wow, that is just crazy. So you're basically, it is a money grab. It is a money grab. I mean, the more you're watching this video, the more you're trying to understand it and absorb it, you're basically, it's like, you get your paycheck and government starts deducting all these different taxes. Like, what is all this crap, right? And then not only that, after you get your net pay for the week or 2 weeks, and then you go out and buy something else, and then you get taxed on top of that again. But also remind you that the person that was buying the goods to sell to you was already taxed for buying it and reselling it to you. You see the scam that's going on? I'm not saying that Chia is deliberately or intentionally doing this. They're just the blockchain that the scammy situation is using. So let's keep on going.
I think a lot of this we're going to be seeing going forward, this push to have economically destabilized countries in Latin America turn towards dollar-denominated stable coins. Like that's happening in Argentina, for example, because of like the issues with the peso there and how it's been devalued so much, even under Malay. People are flocking to dollars essentially, but like stable coins, either like Tether USDT or Circles USDC. And this whole crypto ecosystem in Argentina is pretty much, largely managed by this one particular network that's intimately tied to the satellite company I was talking about. They're all tied up with this group called Endeavor, which Endeavor has an Argentina branch. They have branches really all over the world. They're based in the United States. Their board is chaired by Edgar Bronfman Jr. of the Bronfman family, which, if you're familiar with my books, is intimately tied to organized crime and basically the people behind Justin Trudeau.
Organized crime is a category of local, national, or international groupings of centralized businesses that are run by criminals.
Ouch. Ouch. Okay, guys, we'll end it there. I'll link the video so you guys can continue on and watch it yourself. So basically, it's not a conspiracy theory. I mean, she's just linking the individuals who are responsible for all this. And then, of course, Chia just happens to be a part of it. Why? I don't know. But we will look at Jean's response to all of this, or at least to this interview that Whitney has been sitting through and explaining all this. And I love her presentation because she just delivers it and it's straight to the point. There's so much information to unpack from everything that she's saying, because this is homework that you actually have to figure out. Who are these individuals? How did it originate? How did it get to this point today? So let's go over to the Discord and read over Jean's response, because right here, again, I'm on the Chia Plot General, and if you want to join it, please feel free to join, because it's a great conversation with a whole bunch of great people on this. And again, I want to mention that there's so many different things that's going on with Chia right now that I'm just picking out this one right now because this one stood out. There was a couple items that, and I'm just sidetracking a little bit here. They got into some real estate stuff. They got into and that was a big topic a couple of days ago that they announced, and I will do another video on that. But let's go over Jean's response right here. So here, responding to the actual video, the link to this video that I just showed you a portion of, and this is Jean's response. I guess the Chia blockchain is going to dominate everything because all of the dark forces are behind it, Edward. And I believe Edward is the person that he's talking to right here, which is Edward Luce. Let me just blow this up a little bit. And I mean, if the conspiracy is in, then XCH will be the dominant currency, right? No, because it's already being pointed out that it's a scammy scenario situation that someone's trying to capitalize on. So most likely, if XCH or Chia is tied to this, it would just go down with it. So no, you're not going to be a dominant currency. It would have been a dominant currency if no one put the puzzles together, the pieces together to say that this is a scammy thing that you're trying to accomplish with this whole carbon credit, selling fictitious rights to something that no one owns, or that someone else owns, but you're selling the rights to it. It's almost like squatters, right? They squat in a house, they don't own it, but for some reason, you're just a part of it, and now you claim it, right? All right, anyway, let's keep on going. My only hope for Whitney is that she's performing for an audience. I'm not sure what that actually means, but she was very informative. She didn't talk nasty or say anything nasty. She didn't say chia don't invest or farm chia. She didn't say that. She just shown facts that chia, right, is used to do all this. So I feel like this particular line right here is pretty defensive. Like, hey, you're talking about us in the back. No. Actually, I read a comment somewhere that, oh, this is great media. This YouTube channel has like 200,000 plus subscribers and they mentioned chia. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing. Sometimes you get mentioned on YouTube. Anyway, all right, let's go to the dirt line. But I worry she is not. Okay, all right. So he's just, referring back to his previous line that she's performing for an audience. I really need to understand what that actually means. I have no idea what that means. So anyway, Edward Lu says, Crackpot, what is the definition of that here? She is an incredible journalist. Not saying she is right about everything, but I think she is fair. And so do I. I believe like how she delivered it and what she was saying made a lot of sense. Unless someone goes and fact checked everything that she says and it's not true, then okay. But so far, I mean, that's not my job. I don't want to do that, but I'm going to take her word for it. But again, she didn't say about chia in any negative light, so I don't understand what this crackpot meaning really is. Okay, so Jean here says, yes, Edward, she is a crackpot. I really don't know what that means. Everything is a conspiracy, and do you get that she thinks all crypto is a scam? All of it. No, I don't. I didn't get that from the video, to be honest. Here it seems like Gene is just making up theories in his own head to validate that he's part of this scammy scenario or carbon credit thing because she mentioned chia. Okay, and I mean, in the flip side, on the positive side, Gene, she didn't mention your name. She mentioned Bram. All right, so there's a big significance there. All right, so let's keep on going. Your organization was founded by a secret society, is what Crackpot says. Huh. Is that really what that means? Shoot. I have no idea. Anyway, so he links this X post to Whitney's website. And because I can't, this is an image, I can't really paste it. But give me a second. Let me try and see if I can get that. All right, I was able to get the link, so let's look into what that actually meant, or what he linked. Your organization was founded by a secret society and created because of efforts to exonerate a guilty pedophile. For decades, you have been funded by fascists. Oh my God, how do you even say this? Or, oh shoot. All right. Anyway, with documents tied to organized crime, you trained the FBI to benefit their agenda. Go away. Who's she responding to? All right, let's see right here. Well, I guess a little political, doesn't it, huh? Halting, slowing U.S. humanity assistance. Okay, anyway, let's go back to the original here. So obviously Jean has this dislike for this person here. I don't know who she is. I just learned about her today. So to me, it's fair game, right? She is a key member of the Bitcoin community and I think is working with the editor of Bitcoin magazine. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. That's interesting to know. So just because she is, was she talking negatively about Chia? No, I don't feel like she was. She just mentioned that they just so happen to be using this blockchain called Chia. So, and of course, Gene right here again, he's getting really defensive about this. So maybe she's an odd BTC maxi, but she's unhinged. You see? I mean, the aggressiveness, it's so aggressive. It's so demeaning. It's like talking down on people.
Some people seem like selfish jerks who only think and care about themselves. You may ask yourself, what's up with that guy? Or why does she act that way? The reality is that a small percentage of people are fundamentally different. They may have a personality disorder.
But I don't understand why that is. She didn't say anything negative about you or Chia. She doesn't even understand why Eric Prince is an issue. She's just, she's too unpolitically sophisticated, okay? She's also a Hamas supporter, but that doesn't make her distinct from a larger part of the Dem party. He's just really going at it this time. Edward, we're not going to agree here, and this is wildly off topic. I will mute you for a while because conspiracy bullshit will not be a large part of this Discord. The asshole move again. You see, as soon as someone mentions anything outside of not agreeing with Mr. Gene Hoffman, you get muted, you get banned, you get kicked out, you get moved away. I don't want to be associated with you. Nor do I want you to influence the rest of the crew that is kissing my ass with their fingers up it. All right? These brown noses. That's exactly what's happening right here. And someone reached out to me and said, you have to make a video about this whole, Discord being banned and muted and censored. It's just being censored. So any information, whether it's good or bad, and who said this was conspiracy? Maybe these are facts. You're thinking it's a conspiracy, but it's facts. So I just want to leave it there. It was really interesting because right now I feel like Chia is coming out in the media, but in every way possible, all negative. All negative. I'm not saying that because I'm not farming anymore or anything like that. I'm just saying what I see personally by researching, going online and seeing. I honestly, I don't see much of it unless it's thrown in my face, which is for the most part when I'm on Discord. Either someone links it or there's a discussion or they tag me and I see it. And that's how I learn about certain things. I don't purposely go out and say, oh, let's see if Chia, is posted on the Times Square billboard or something like that. Because even if they did, like, what significance will that bring, right? Go farm XCH, go buy a 18 gig hard drive or something like that. For the most part, everyone's probably not farming anymore. And for you guys who actually say, oh, it's a good price to buy. Yeah, it is. $18 is definitely cheaper, much cheaper than what it was a month ago. Okay, 24. How about a year? Wow, it went up to 55. I still remember this day. I believe this was during the halving. I could be wrong. But anyway, let's go all. All right, all is not fair. All is never fair. Because all is like $1,500, $1,600. But we do it 1 year. 1 year. What was more interesting was probably during the second year. The second year was pretty like, okay, all right, it's going to stabilize out at like $600, $500. And as soon as it started going down and down, okay, let's keep it at 200. And guys, I mean, lo and behold, I mean, you keep saying you want to keep it here, let's keep it there. $40. Oh, it's profitable when it was still above $30. All right, yeah, it was $80, and then now it's $18. Guys, as Chia keeps on dumping the pre-farm, selling it at this point, openly admitting that they're selling it, why do you feel the need to buy it when the company who owns it is selling it? Why do you feel that it's going to be going up in value when they continue to keep on selling it? Is my question to you. So I'm not here to convince you not to farm or farm. And you guys are here just for entertainment. And it's exactly why I'm doing these videos. It's for entertainment. Of course, you have a lot of these guys on YouTube. A lot of these Chia guys on the Discord, the official one, the one that I've been banned from, and a lot of others that have been banned, because the ones who did get banned or muted, they're on the other Discord, whether it's on Mad Max's or the Chia plot, because there's a lot of conversations going on, and unfortunately, Chia does not seem to be doing the right thing by the people who really brought up what Chia is today. As far as node counts and all that, a lot of contributors have backed away from this project, and I'm talking about pools, I'm talking about people who are trying to build games, because I just see that, if you're not in agreement with how Chia operates, there's no reason to have you around. And Gene has openly admitted and said that to people on the Discord by saying that if you're not interested in Chia, then shut down your farm, sell you. Don't show up here. Don't talk to me. Very negative attitude, which is pretty bad in my opinion, being the owner or CEO of this corporation that's trying to entice people to join, not entice them to leave. So with that being said, I appreciate everyone that's here, and I thank you, and always appreciate you guys hitting that like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again really soon. Take care.